Yo, what is going on, guys? Uplift Cosmic here. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. So, I am finally getting to you on the Modern Warfare beta review. So, I actually have a lot of good things so far to say. This is kind of in a random order, so take everything at your own pace, But I've never been a fan of like going at things in positive, negative. I just want to say what's on my mind, and then I'll like get through it that way. And I think it makes more sense to myself if that makes sense. I don't know, but anyways, I'm gonna just get started. So the first thing here is that the weapons they sound good. Nothing. I don't really think anything really sticks out because Modern Warfare 2019 had such a strong foundation for weapon sounds and whatnot. So it still sounds great. There's no complaints. I think if anything, it sounds maybe better in some degrees from the weapons I've seen. Also, we have some new lethals and tacticals that I'd like to bring up, which is, this isn't necessarily new, but the heartbeat sensor is back. But the thing about it is, I haven't used it yet. I don't know if we can unlock it or not, but I wanted to mention it, in that it actually has a battery operated kind of system with it, meaning you don't have to have it constantly, so that way it's not overpowered and you don't have to see everything. So you have to really willingly use your heartbeat sensor in certain areas you think is going to be condensed and compact. So I think that's kind of a good change, actually. The drill charge is a new item that was added as well, and that's pretty much it's kind of like Rainbow Six to a degree that it reminds me of. Pretty much, it's just you stick it somewhere on the wall or on the ground or something, and it goes through the wall and it blows up, which is kind of a neat thing, I think. They also brought back the shock charge, aka the shock stick, in this scenario. It's actually better. So it's kind of like a few things in one. It's EMP to a degree, so or not EMP, but like malfunctions system. So if you step on it, it electrocutes you and it causes your gun to malfunction and it just starts shooting, which is actually really cool. Also, it does that with the vehicles too, so it'll pretty much stop the vehicle transmission and all that, which is actually really neat. Also, we are obviously currently limited on unlocking guns and attachments, of course. But from what the guns we've used, I do like them. They're nothing new, I don't think, but they're still good, of course. The one thing I do am interested on currently is the receiver. And what a receiver is, to my understanding, is it's different guns, like a branching tree of different guns in the same category. So you can kind of have their specs on your gun that you're using currently. So let's say, I'm just throwing out a gun for example. Let's say you wanted to use a Scar H, but you wanted to use a different spec on a different gun. Like, let's say you want to use like an M4 specs for the Scar H. To my understanding, you would use that without having to really unlock the gun already, if that makes sense. So that's kind of a neat thing. I do want to learn more about it. It's not very clear with me, but the idea of it sounds intriguing. I'm just curious to see what they're going to do with it. The next thing is perks are a smidge different now. So now, instead of just picking the perks you want specifically, which you still do, it's not in categorized or whatnot. So now you pick two base perks, and I'm just saying that as an idea is what they would be called. So two base perks, you pick automatically, you get from the start of the game, but then you get two more that's earned throughout the game. So let's say you want to earn Ghost and Fast Hands or something along the way. To my understanding, you just earn it as you play. As long as the match is running, you just earn it. So it's kind of a neat change. I'm not going to say I like it or dislike it yet. I haven't really had my full opinion yet. But I still kind of like the idea, I guess, on paper. So that way it's not super overkill with, six perks and whatnot. So I like it, but I don't know if am fully on board with it, if that makes sense. But on paper it's cool, but I don't know just yet. So also, with speaking of perks, you can make a perk package, which I do like this factor, is what a perk package is. You can make your kind of like a class for perks. So if you want to just like say you're having a run and gun class, you want to put a certain run and gun kind of perks on without having to select each one of them already, you can save that perk class and just equip it to whatever you need to attach it to in your loadout, which is really cool, actually. Um, Also, we do have nuke field upgrades, and I do want to mention these to you as well. So a suppression mine, it kind of just sounds like a stun grenade to my understanding. I haven't used it yet, but I was looking through them, and it's pretty much just like a sound wave, and it just slows your movement. So that's what it sounds kind of like, a stun grenade to a degree. Also, we do have a loadout drop. I haven't seen this yet, of course. It does remind me of like a Warzone kind of loadout drop, where it drops a loadout for your team, which is kind of neat. I haven't seen it, so I don't know really what to think of it just yet. Also, we do have the tactical camera is back, so pretty similar to the Black Ops 1 camera, which is pretty neat. I don't think really I used it, but I mean, it's still kind of a cool idea to bring back. A smoke airdrop, which is something I thought was kind of neat, and it's pretty much these drones that have like a smoke kind of wall barrier that covers you. So this would be really cool for like objective gameplays, which I think could really come in handy. If you're capping a flag or really capping a a B or C, in Dom or something like that would be really kind of a useful feature. I haven't used it, but I think it on paper sounds really cool. Also, the one that I think is the most meme-like is the inflatable decoys, which if you haven't seen it yet, it's hilarious. But pretty much, obviously, this is not realistic. I don't think they would ever use something like this. Maybe to a degree, like an idea, but you pretty much just have an inflatable enemy or your, I guess, teammate or whoever you wanted to sink, and inflatable person, and they're like crouched down, so it looks pretty legit if you don't really pay attention. So if you shoot that, I think it does reveal your enemy location when they shoot it, to my understanding. If not, let me know. But it's kind of a cheap thing, but it's really funny. I really like the idea. We also have DDoS, that will disable any electronics in your area, which is kind of similar to like a shock stick, but more advanced, which is, still pretty neat. Now, the one thing I think also is kind of meme-like here too is the battle rage, which I like it on paper because I'm a rusher, to be honest. I don't like to camp and sit back. So it pretty much just gives you unlimited sprint, unlimited tactical sprint for a certain amount of time. Your health regenerates faster, and also you are resisted to like tactical things, like grenades and whatnot. So it's kind of a cool thing. I do like it. It is a little bit, odd to all have that all at once, but I get the idea. It is kind of cool, but I think the way that it's, shown to us is a little bit odd, but I do like the idea. Also, this is a good thing for both categories here, meaning Dolphin Dive is back and the slide is back too. So a couple things to note here. The Dolphin Dive, in my opinion, is really good. It's pretty balanced, but the problem I have with it is you can turn like full circle as you're dolphin diving, so it's a little bit overpowered because you're dolphin diving and you can spin immediately and do an 180 and shoot them, right when you land. So it's a little bit weird. I think they should just keep it to like one direction. I don't know. That's just me though. Um, Now with the slide, this isn't really a big deal to me, but you can't really shoot and slide at the same time, so it's more so just like a functionality thing. It's not really, it's just for looks at the end of the day. So you're not really, gonna use it too often to like kill people. But the slide is shorter now, so take what take it or leave it. I think it's good to have both Dolphin Dive and the slide because it beats both worlds, so now people can't complain about that. So I like that. What else do we have? Now there is also kill streaks and score streaks, so you have the option to enable which one you want to do. Now they're both the same, streaks and whatnot, but it's just the system that you're doing it with. So if you're more of a kill streak person, you don't want to just get the kill streaks by killing people. You can do that, or you can enable score streaks and get it by of course killing and doing score streaks. To my understanding, I haven't used it yet. I'm more of a kill streak. I'd rather just do it, simple. Just kill people. I don't know. But score streaks is a good idea because you earn it by capping flags and whatnot. So I'm assuming that's what they mean by that. I just haven't put that into test yet. But you guys can do that obviously at your own will. Also, now speaking of the maps, now I think all four are good that we have been shown so far. But 3 of the 4 are actually really good for like TDM gameplay. Now we have Farm, Hotel, Museum, and there's like a Mexico map. I forgot the name of it. I'm sorry guys, don't hurt me. Now, the only map I don't really care for is the museum. Now, it looks really good, but the problem is there's like one congested area, and then the rest of the map is kind of like open, especially on the far right side of the map, or far right or left, depending on how you look at it. It's like this big open, vast space that it just doesn't need to be there. If anything, it should be like just taken off, or make the mode like maybe a 10 versus 10 or something along those lines. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be a better fit for museum specifically. Just not a bad map, just not for the TDM. I don't think it works very well. I think it'd actually be good in like a Warzone, like just add it on to like Warzone 2 or something. That'd be kind of a cool idea because it's a big map for a reason. That'd be a pretty good pinpoint of the map in my opinion. Also, we have some new game modes. As you guys saw earlier, I was playing the third person mode, which is one of them. We also have Prisoner Rescue, which is pretty much just like I think it's kind of like a Rainbow Six Siege thing. It's pretty similar. I've played it a couple times. It's kind of cool. You just gotta either kill enemies or take the prisoner, or you flip-flop, depending on how you see it. So it's kind of a cool idea. I do like the idea. They added that. I believe it was in older Call of Duties as well, but they brought it back, so, it's kind of cool. Also, we have Knockout, which is pretty much just holding, I think it's a bomb or something, or holding the objective. I don't remember. For so long, to my understanding, I don't. I haven't played it yet, so I don't know. But just thought I'd mention it to you. But speaking of the third-person mode, which is absolutely awesome, just to let you know. Now we did obviously have that. I think in MW3 in like a custom game mode, to my understanding. I could be wrong, so tell me if I am in the comments. But the third person mode is awesome. I absolutely love it. Like I was freaking giddying like a little schoolboy, and like just had the cheesiest smile because it is super neat, because they really perfected it. It feels like an actual third person game to a degree. But the only thing that I'd want to critique or maybe add, and this is just a small nitpick, and it's not really nitpicking really at the end of the day, and that is just to add a shoulder swap. And I don't know if it's in there or not. There was a clip in here earlier. I was running around, but my shoulder switched. I don't know if I did it or just did it automatically, but I would prefer that to have like an automatic, like your own button to push, so that way it feels more immersive and whatnot. I think that'd be a cool idea. Um, Also, I think if you had a zoom in mode, instead of zooming in first person when you zoom in on third person mode, they should just have a mode where you just zoom in like you would. Kind of like a Ghost Recon thing. I might be asking too much. I know it's a Call of Duty game, but just it'd be a cool idea to add. But regardless, I really enjoy the third person mode. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I really think I'll be playing that a lot. To be honest, I love third person. I think as I get older, I prefer third person games. I don't know. And also, it's cool because you can see your character now. So if you buy a cool skin, because we all know we're not going to stick to realistic skins. I don't care what you say. It's not going to happen. So if you buy a freaking Elmo skin, you're going to be able to see him. So, anyways, that's that. Now, the last couple things I have here that I want to take note of is the proximity chat is back. I haven't put that into test yet, but I know people are really having a lot of fun with it here. So I know a lot of people are going to like it. It's going to be really memey and hopefully bring back things to old days. So, also a couple last things here is Last Stand. I haven't seen it really in effect yet, but it is back. So Last Stand, you guys know what Last Stand is. It's pretty much when you get shot, you don't die, you lay on the floor with like a pistol, and you can have the chance to take out your enemy. I don't hate it as much I don't hate it as much people do. I know it was like a really big thing, like in MW, I think 2 and 3, or no, and MW2, I believe in Modern Warfare, 4, or I mean Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It was a pretty prominent thing in those games, and I think it just the way they do it. It just depends. I don't know yet if people don't spam it and abuse it. I think it'll be okay. But I don't know. That's one of the things I'm kind of iffy about. I don't know what to think about it yet. Now, the last thing I want to talk about on here is this just kind of the UI and the screens. And what I mean, not like really the screens in game, more so like your menu screens. Like I feel like it's a little bit clunky. Like sometimes I was trying to change your attachments, and it like the grammar didn't make much sense. And I know I'm no grammar expert, but I'm trying to play a game. I want it to make sense. Some of the grammar didn't make sense on it, and also the like the title and like the text when I was reading it pretty much just said like it was like going into like other wording, so it kind of like blended in with one another, which is just kind of stupid. They just need to fix it. It's not a huge deal right now. I'm sure they'll fix it by the time things come around. But that's just a little nitpick I have. But I think it'll be fixed by then. But really, what can I say about this beta? I'm actually really enjoying it. I know beta's a beta. I'm not trying to have the honeymoon phase. But so far, I'm liking about I'd say 80 to 90%, somewhere around there, about everything I've played so far, and utilized and whatnot. So, anyways, though, guys, I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm not trying to get on the bandwagon right now. I really don't want to, but I really did enjoy MW 2019 for the most part. My biggest critique with that game was really the maps. I didn't really care for any of the maps. They're just too big. And whatnot. Also, I want to mention one more thing here. I forgot if you just saw right now. Your character, when you look at it, like if you look when you zoom in, the wind kind of like, blows on your character, which is a really cool feature. It makes it more realistic, but the problem is it's a little bit too much sometimes. Like it's not really distracting per se, but it's just a little unrealistic the way like when your character's flapping and like with no movement, if that makes sense. Like it's just a little bit too much. I think they just need to dial it down a smidge bit. But it's a very, very, very small nitpick. It's a cool feature. Anyways, though, guys, like I said, my biggest nitpick with MW19 was just the maps itself. The gameplay was great. Some of the cool features. I hope they bring back gunfight and stuff like that. My wish for this year's Call of Duty, Bring back special ops, and I know they are obviously, but make it fun. Because the issue with MW19 was the special ops was dog, you know what? Like it was horrible. It was more like a wave-based thing, if anything, and it just didn't feel anything like it. I didn't like it at all. It was too much. It was just way too many enemies and not fun to play at all. So that's my biggest thing, and I'm sure campaign. Hopefully, knocking on wood here is going to be just as good, if not better, as 2019's Modern Warfare here, because I absolutely adored that. It was great. So hopefully they can just live up to my expectations in all three categories this year, if not four. Who knows? Or I guess Warzone's considered one too. I'm not the biggest Warzone player, so I don't have much to say there. But like I said, though, guys, let me know what you guys think of the beta as of now. I'm really enjoying it, but like I said, everyone has their own opinion. So let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you guys all soon. Take it easy.